back to my channel. So I am so very sorry that I have not been uploading recently like I normally do. That is because I have some like life changes happening and everything. So you guys have asked me for a life update. So that is what I am going to do a little bit on today. I will do a better one coming up here soon. This is just so you guys know what's going on in my life, and how I am doing. So with that being said, if you want to see what's going on in my life or hear about what's going on in my life, and if you're new here, go down there and click that little red subscribe button and turn on the bell to be notified when I upload. And let's get on with this little short, quick life update video. Okay, so before I actually get into detail of this video and everything, if you guys are noticing anything different on my face, that's because I took out my black hoop lip ring. That is because I was taking a shower the other night and I about yanked it literally completely out. So yeah, like it was splitting. That's how bad it was. But to answer y'all's question and give you guys a actual life update about my current relationship, so keep on watching and we'll get into it. Okay, so for this little life update video, it's not going to be like my normal life update video. I just want to give you guys a little update video on my current relationship. Okay, so you guys know that since I moved in here, it's been about 6 to 7 months ago, I have been with Will. If you are one of my OG subscribers, you know that he was my ex. We got back together, blah, blah, blah. You guys know that. But if you are a new subscriber, I was dating my ex that was abusive back in the day. Let's sum that up. And he could say he ain't all he wants to. So I don't even care if he listens to this video, honestly, knowing I have him blocked on everything, but I really don't care. But anyways, me and him was together for the whole entire time I've been in this house. Because me and him started talking when I was at Mom's back in March. Then I moved in here. Then me and him been here together ever since. So then I just kept feeling like something was wrong. Like this whole entire relationship, I knew something was off. Something was wrong. You know, I kept telling Mom, like late at night when Will was asleep, I kept telling Mom, I was like, there's something wrong. I'm not happy anymore. I'm not happy anymore. She goes, well, maybe give it some time. Maybe it's just, you know, you're still grieving too. I was like, I know that. So then last week, we went out, and because it was the day he got paid, we went out. I don't even know what kind of voice that was, but I'm just going to roll with it because I don't feel like recording this part anymore. We went out, we got something to eat. And then we didn't get back home that night till like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I kept telling him all last week, I kept saying, you know, I'm not happy, I'm not happy, I'm not happy. You know, just, I don't know how to explain it. And then me and him argued about me having friends over. He was like, I don't care you having friends over. Have whoever you want over. I was like, well, I didn't care if you liked it or not because it was my house. I'm the one paying the bills, you know. I'm going to have whoever I want over. I told him, I said, I feel trapped in my own house where I can't have nobody over. Can't do what I want. I'm always on my feet. I'm always stressed out. Like, that's just literally how I was feeling. And so, then me and this other person, which is my new relationship, we was talking for a few days, and then I told him, I was like, well, he goes to work Saturday, so maybe you can come over then. So I told him, I was like, well, I want to have one of my friends over, whether you like it or not. And I told him, I was like, well, the 15th I have my driver's test. I have a friend taking me to my driver's test. So, you know, we left it alone. Then Saturday morning, he went to work. I got up, got the kids fed and everything. And then me and this other person was sitting here texting. And then I told him, I was like, well, it's almost, you know, time because he just now got to work. He goes, okay, well, I'll be over there shortly. I was like, okay. So he gets over here. We hang out for a little bit, get to knowing each other a lot more. Kids automatically, and I do mean automatically, clicked with him, and they love him. They are much more calmer. I don't know how to explain it, but they are. They are so much more calmer now. Like how hyper they was when Will was here. Oh my God, they're half that now. Like they still cuss and everything, but just their actions and their behavior is totally changed. I don't know what's going on. I guess they can see how everything is with me now. Like, they can see that I'm happy. And they know it, so now they're like much more calmer, I guess. But anyways, and then we hung out for a while. He was like, well, I gotta go to work. And I was like, okay, well, you know, just text me later and everything. And then he was aggravating the kids if, you know, wanted us to go with him. And I was like, well, I gotta stay here. I gotta stay here. I gotta stay here. So then the kids automatically went ahead and got their shoes on and everything. So couldn't tell them no. And also I had them go meet Mom and Dad anyways. So we go ahead and leave. And I take my husband's remains with me. I take everything very, very important to me, except for like the TV. I took everything very important with me because I know how Will was. Because he's still the same person he was back in the day. He just knows how to put a lid on it right now. And I don't care if he sits there and says, no, he don't. No, and I do want to say a big disclaimer. No, he did not hit me. He did not hurt me or the kids. It was just that I kept feeling tired, stressed, always on eggshells. Feel like I was always constantly on my feet. Like, it was too much for me. I was getting to the point that I was hurting myself because of all the stress. I was afraid that I was going to end up hurting myself so bad that I was going to end up in the hospital. And I'm not talking about like harming myself or anything. I'm saying as in like where I wasn't hardly eating much. I wasn't hardly sleeping. I was physically hurting myself because I was making myself so exhausted. So that's why I ended it with him. So I was already halfway in Sandy Hook. I texted him and I was like, you need to come get your stuff. We're done. So then we started talking. He wanted to work it out. I was just like, no, it's over. It's done. I'm just done. So then me and current relationship has been going on now exactly for 1 week. Very, very happy. Like, you guys could probably tell the difference in my tone of voice right now. And not to mention that when I was going to town to see Mom and Dad, that Will kept calling me 15 times just to try to figure out what was going on. Because I texted him telling him I'm having a friend take me to meet Mom, blah, blah, blah. I didn't want to wait for him to get off work. So he called me like 15 to 20 times now. And then he had to go file a missing persons report because he hasn't seen me all day. He didn't talk to me all day. So we get back from town and everything. Mom tells me that she's home. And then the cops were there wanting to look for me and the kids. When knowing literally we just got back from town seeing Mom and Dad. Like, what? So, and then another one of my family members said that the cops called them, or not called them, but came over and wanted to know if they seen me or whatever. And it was not 24 hours. That's the part that does not make no sense. Because, you know, if you file a missing persons report, it's got to be 24 hours that you have not seen that person. He didn't see me that morning from the time he left. Which was only like 4 hours prior to me telling him to get his stuff. And so I called the cop back. The cop wouldn't answer, so I texted that cop, well, the trooper or sheriff or whatever. And I told that person, I said, I am not missing. Me and my kids are perfectly safe. Hang on, I'll read you the messages. I told him, I said that we are perfectly safe. He's lying, mad because I kicked him out. He's not wanting to leave. He goes, that's what I figured. Spoke with him as well. Advised him to stay away from you guys. He goes, thanks for contacting me back. I said, you're welcome. Me and my kids are perfectly safe. He goes, good deal. And I told him, I said, I just needed to get away from the house for a while. He goes, you're fine. It happens a lot. So, and I asked him about a restraining order. He said that I have to do that in person at the courthouse, which is a given. So then, that's how everything went with me and him. But with me and current relationship, it is absolutely fantastic. Like, I don't know how to explain it. His personality puts me in mind of my husband so much. And I'm actually currently filming this on mine and my husband's 3-year wedding anniversary. So it's Monday, October 14th. And that's actually whose hoodie I'm wearing right now. It's his hoodie. But yeah, like, I just feel so different. Like, everything feels so different. Like, the kids are happier. I'm happier. I feel like I'm not walking on eggshells. I don't have to do everything. You know, he's really good with the kids. I don't know. Like, it's just better. I don't know how to explain it. Like, he makes me so happy, just as much as happy as my husband did. And, you know, it's just feels so good being back out of that relationship before it got worse. Because when I was a teenager, you know, me and him was together, and I waited till it got worse to split up with him, if that makes sense. This time, I didn't let it get to that point. You know, we was only together for 7 months, done and over with. But I am very, very happy. Me and the kids are just fine. We're perfectly happy right now. The kids absolutely love him. You know how the kids would always call Will boy or hey boy or whatever? Now they call him by his actual name, or they'll say hey guy if they can't think of his name. Like, they listen to him. They're much more calmer. They're polite. I just don't know. And Shaylin the other day, I was getting her on the bus, and she goes, boy make you angry and sad. Guy makes you happy. I'm just like, yes, honey, it does. Yes. So, the kids know that I was in, like, a bad spot. That's why that they were always acting up and everything. But with him, they're much more calmer and just polite. I don't know how to explain it. And it feels so weird being treated this good and not having to do everything. And that's where he's at right now. He's out working on his car right now. So I can have it for my driver's test tomorrow. And so we can have a vehicle. So, like, and with Will, it was like, couldn't hardly get him to do anything except just go to work. It was weird. And also, with that being said, sorry, I had a text. Then last Wednesday, Shaylin had a field trip over here to the pumpkin patch, which is literally 2 to 3 miles from my house. And he still works there at that pumpkin patch, okay? As soon as I get there, he sees me. He starts talking to her and doing all this, blah, blah, blah. So, he looked at me, he goes, thank you for letting me see my daughter. I was like, well, if it wasn't for her field trip, you wouldn't be able to see her today because she'd still be in school. Yeah, that Ooh, that flew all over me. He just better be glad that there was almost 200 kids running around there, plus I was in public. So, then he goes, when did all this relationship stuff happen? Blah, blah, blah. Starts running his mouth right there at the pumpkin patch in front of her teacher. And everything. And I was like, I'm not doing this here. I'm not doing this here. I told him, I said, you still got some stuff over there at the house. You better hurry up and get it before I throw it out. I told him, I was like, for one, you still got the Corvette door panel in there. Hurry up and come get it before I just throw it outside in the middle of the road. So he goes, well, I'll be over there at 2:30. So I get a ride back over here at the house before 2 o'clock. I start setting his stuff in here in the living room, you know, backing it up, whatever. Starts backing it up and everything. This is really what gets underneath my skin and aggravates me. And then I'm still currently going through. I'm not going to go into every single detail, but I'm going to go into like the main parts. So he gets here, starts running his mouth about my husband, saying that he was a POS, blah, 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 things like that. And I was like, don't you dare say that about my husband. He was a lot better than you ever have and ever will be. Then he was like, well, I'm going to call CPS, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, go ahead, I ain't got nothing to hide. So, yeah, that's what I'm currently dealing with right now is CPS. Again, all because of him. I'm getting mad because he got his little feelings hurt. Oh, my God. Then, he goes talking about a house or whatever, and he said that I have a place to stay, which is none of your business where. I was like, probably over here next to me so you can keep an eye on us. He goes, well, even if it is, it's because the landlord likes me. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have that job or know the landlord. So, then I told him, I said, you still got some stuff over here on the back of the house, which was like spare tires and stuff. And he goes, well, I'm going to go over and get it. I was like, well, not without me or not. So, I shut the front door, lock it, come up here, go to the back side of the house, and then he starts spinning tires in my yard and leaves. All because I told him he better leave before time to get Jared off the bus. He goes, well, I want to see him too. I was like, he's nothing to you. Never have, never will be nothing to you. He goes, if I want to see my son, I will. I was like, no, you won't. He's nothing to you. So then he leaves out of here spinning tires, and then last Friday, CPS came over. So that's what I'm currently dealing with. Now that the CPS is wanting to home visits. All thanks to, I'm not even going to say it, but you guys can probably already imagine the words that I'm thinking. But yeah, that was the whole entire story time about how I left Will and got with another guy. So yeah, that was my little bit of a life update for you guys. Sorry this video was so long and kind of all over the place. I was kind of trying to go into detail without saying too much detail and getting anybody in trouble. But I am going to go get a restraining order on Will soon. I just have to wait until tomorrow maybe, because that's when I'm actually going to be leaving the house for a while. So I'm just going to do it tomorrow. But yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed that video, and don't let him message you or try to say anything bad about me. If he does, message me, let me know, and I'll take care of it. So that was the whole entire story time on how I left Will and got with another guy, all right underneath his nose. But I wouldn't necessarily say cheating. I would just say that I was getting out of a situation before it ended up badly again. So I was leaving the situation before it ended badly. But yeah, I love you guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed this little story time video, life updates. But yeah, I love you guys. give it a big thumbs up. Go down there and click that little red subscribe button. And I'll see you guys very soon in my next video, which will probably be a vlog coming tomorrow when I go pay my bills. But I love y'all, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!